Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Shenanigans.
Hey, how much gold is on the fallen things, Neal?
You get 10 pieces of gold, 20 pieces of silver, and 40 pieces of copper.
Good enough.
Thank you for the healing, scary hand woman.
Hey.
Oh, Doreen, I see you have a few more ornaments.
So, let's talk about what's going on here. Doreen is definitely chopping off some hands. There was talk about turning the Minotaurs into steak sandwiches. Is that going to happen?
Hey man, I'm offering.
All right. Someone still needs to man the bar. Because, there's patrons inside who are still ordering drinks and stuff.
Dwarfy is manning the bar.
Wonderful. One of the patrons has decided that they also want to order some food, so someone's going to need to cook. And there you go.
For the job.
And someone, or probably at least two people, are going to need to go get new glass for the window. Because you don't want Desmond to come back from his beach vacation and have missing windows,
Viglaff is two people's. At least he can get the glass.
Vigloff, you might want to send someone with Vigloff. You might not want him to try and buy
We can
sheet
send
glass.
that human over there who's cowering in the corner with Viglaff.
Yeah, I think that'd go over great.
That might work well. Okay.
Send who?
May.
May? Okay. I was going to send May to go get Droopy. To dig some graves for...
Do you really think May would approach the graveyard with that undead servant like digging a grave?
Droopy is not in town. Droopy is somewhere else right
No,
now.
Droopy is in town, but she's retired for now.
She's indisposed right now.
Droopy is unavailable at the moment.
Indisposed, yeah. She's already having a ceremony that is going on, and you don't want to disturb that.
It takes a while.
Alright, I guess there are bodies in the back alley.
So let's figure this out. So we're gonna use the text tool. That's what we're gonna do. So at the bar we have Guathir. In the kitchen we have Johnny.
Hey.
Going to get glass, we have May and Vigloff. In the alleyway, we have Doreen.
I think Doreen just finishes up the hand thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a little while. You got to drag all the bodies back. You got to, chop them off at just the right spot. It'll take a little while. And that leaves Torque. Torque, what are you going to do, buddy? What are you doing?
I'm nowhere near the alley because Doreen doing her dirty work freaks me out.
Rightly so.
May went with Vigloff to go get the glass, so I'm just hanging out in the bar, in Shenanigans, because Guathir has some trouble being a normal person sometimes.
I'll say, hey, magic dog, do you want to help us find the glass place? I'll go over to the bar and I'll get a big
I don't know.
I'll get a shot glass and I'll bring it over, get the scent, and then show us where the glass place is. You can do it, magic dog.
I just point. It's that way.
Your nose, it is legendary. Come, magic dog, show us the way.
May's there, he finds was it pane glass? So he'll find some way to mark off the size of how big each pane was and something like that.
This is why you don't send Vigloff alone. Someone needs to remember to figure out how much glass you need.
Hold on, Neal. Let's be real. The glassmaker already knows how big the windows are in Shenanigans.
Perhaps, but it's better to be prepared,
He's being prepared. So May's there going, and then he realizes he's not literate.
Yep, let's send the 3 illiterates to go figure out The glass.
So
All
he's
right.
got his spear and getting a knife and just carving like Marcus for how big the piece of glass needs to be.
Yeah, that's.
Torque,
All
are you
right.
then going with them to get glass?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And
All
so
right.
pleased about it too.
Mm-hmm.
This is great. This is perfect. Okay, so we're sort of splitting the party here. So we're gonna do this in some stages. We're gonna start with part 1 of the glass expedition.
Oh, excellent. Glass.
Torque, May, and Vigloff, you go out looking for a glass maker. None of you have ever had to do this before. So what is your... I mean, it shouldn't be hard to find a glass maker, right? Is there anything that, any particular way in which you would like it done?
May will go and ask the first person he sees.
All right, so just like ask randoms until you can find the... Perfect. Yeah, one of these first people that you see says that Cogrange Hammerbench has opened up a glass making shop right next to his regular workshop.
I presume we get directions off that, like we get points.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's even on the map. We have a real map of the town. Right over here, next to the tinker shop, there's now a little glass factory. What do you call a place that makes glass? It's not a glass factory. Is it?
Foundry,
Foundry?
maybe, because you need a huge ass furnace.
Right.
Glass blower.
Oh, the glass.
But he's not
Yeah.
blowing glass. He's it's sheet glass. So
Still glass blower.
I mean,
it could be a
do
blower or a
They would do that.
Glass smelter.
glassmith, a gaffer. What? No, it's ridiculous.
Oh,
Glass
I
blower.
legitimately just think it's called a glass maker. Like I don't think there's a fancy
a
term.
glazier.
A glazier. Ooh.
Ooh.
I like that. Let's do that. I don't know if that's real, but that is brilliant.
A glacier?
No, I think glazier.
Oh, they probably make donuts.
Azier.
Yes, a glazier is a skilled tradesman responsible for cutting, installing, and removing glass. Oh, but they don't make it. They just install it.
Well, I mean, we're gonna need one of them too.
Yeah, probably. All right. So you guys start heading off through the town in that direction. So you're leaving Shenanigans. You start coming through the market. You start walking past the sheriff's station. And that's when you see like 10 kobolds in the sheriff's station jabbering at the sheriff.
Oh, good thing Mr. Muscles doesn't.
It seems they are being arrested for not being puppies. This is fitting.
All right. You guys make it past the sheriff and on down to the tinker shop. There is Cogrange Hammerbench the gnome in the tinker shop right next to his glass blowing and rolling area. And stops. He's working on some sort of like mechanical claw thingy that's got some like pistons in it.
Wait,
and
is he outside of his house or inside?
No, he's
of his-
in the tinker shop, but like the doors are open because it's a hot day and he's got a furnace going on in there.
I
and he's-
stop like freaking 50 feet away.
He wipes the sweat off his
Magic
brow
dog,
and
you
sees you.
found it. Is there nothing you can't do?
I ain't going in there.
What's that, boy? Timmy fell down the wells.
As they're having discussion, May just goes on in.
No, it's not a discussion.
But
Yes,
to knock him first, obviously, to get his presence known and before,
Right. The gnome sees you coming and says, "Howdy ho!"
we're after a glass, particular piece to replace a broken window.
You don't say so. Huh.
I've made some markings for the this way and this way of the window on this spear here.
Length and height. That's what it's called, all right. Well, let me put down my work, and we'll take a look at the new stuff that you have for me for work.
I think it's actually called width and height.
We aren't going to question the gnomish craftsman, though.
You're not here, Doreen, all right?
I'll call out to May as I hear all this. Wait, that is not a real gnome either. It is not speaking in an annoying fashion.
I can hear the rhymes out here. Big Lock, don't make it worse.
Ignore those two. We should get this problem sorted before there are any other issues.
Right. Piece of glass to save your ass. Got it. And he takes you over to the area next to him and, has you mark the measurements. And he's already got like this big, long, like pit of sand and like a giant boiling cauldron of what looks to be molten glass next to it, powered by a constant fire that's like with a huge coal pile that's way too close to the glass pile, the furnace. And you're sitting there thinking like, oh my god, one of these days there's gonna, like, that entire pile of coal is gonna spark off. There are no safety regulations here whatsoever.
That is good.
It's fine for now.
If it goes up, freaking gnome probably goes with it.
So you can start giving the gnome measurements, and he'll, let some glass roll out, and already has another sheet, and he starts marking the sheet. Torque and Vigloff, what are you doing while May is like handling all the responsibilities?
I'm just like standing away. I'm watching that door, like a good chunk of distance away. I'm not getting closer.
All right. What about Vigloff?
Is the Vel inside the house?
He's talking to you, Torque.
The glass is in there. If you want to look, you go in there.
Very well. I shall find the child in the Vel. Oh no! Now I got that from the gnome, and I am rhyming too. What am I going to do? Ah, there it is again. Hen.
Rhyming is contagious.
Does Vigloff still have Henrietta, or is Henrietta dead already?
I've never had Henrietta.
Yeah, Vigloff had a Henrietta last session.
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
That was not.
Didn't you? You were walking around with the chicken. It was your prized possession. No?
It was not. It was
No,
not.
that was not. And then Desmond cooked Henrietta.
Oh, okay.
When we went to the dragon.
Right, that was Notch, not Vigloff.
Yeah.
The other tall, strong, weird-speaking, barbaric creature of yours. Got it.
He was not barbaric at all. He was an amazing chef with
Does not mean you're also not barbaric.
in chef and being a chef.
He
And
didn't believe in dragons.
very-
That is barbaric.
Mm-hmm.
He was very non-barbaric. He shaved every day and
All right. All
was
right.
very polite and respectful.
Perfect. So you start getting your things in order.
I'm gonna go
Vigloff,
into the shop and start looking for a well.
Vigloff, give me a dexterity check.
All right.
It's not going to go well.
Let's see. My dexterity is the maximum for an ogre, which is 8.
This is really not going to go well then.
The maximum for an ogre. Hey. Oh, okay.
Oh my god, it's fine. Yeah. You go in the shop, you carefully step over all of the glass that's everywhere. This is sized for a gnome, but you're an ogre in here, so you can, like, the walkways are super fucking narrow, and you have to be very, very careful not to break the room filled with glass. But somehow you manage to do it.
I'm
He is
imagining
now-
there's like little glass figurines on shelves and everything, and I'm constantly like knocking them, and things are like tipping and wavering, but they never quite fall over.
And there's like just big sheets that are like resting up against walls, but there's only like 1.5 feet in between them. So you're like carefully not breaking anything. The gnome seems completely unconcerned about the ogre walking through his glass factory.
What the hell? I see no well. Oh no!
There is no well here, though.
May hearing that. So
No well.
the well is probably
well.
outside. Follow the dog. Follow talk carefully as May's danger sense is going. Well, trouble sense is going. Oh, this is going to turn into something very bad, like impalement by glass.
It's like spider sense constantly ringing in your head. As the ogre walking through the glass shop.
So, Torque, you're outside, and you'll see Mr. Muscles, the sheriff, being led by a dozen or so kobolds down through the market square. And that's when we're going to flip back to the events at Shenanigans. Over here at Shenanigans, we've got Gwathir manning the bar. All the same people that were in here before are here now still, and they're all ordering drinks. The band has stopped playing because clearly no one's listening to them. And there are many drink orders coming up, and some people are starting to order fancy things. Someone is asking you for a Moscow Mule. Do you know how to make a Moscow Mule, Gwathir?
A Moscow Mule. Now let me think. From where did that drink originate? I asked the person ordering.
Moscow.
Well, I have to see if we have vodka. We need ginger beer, spicy, of course. I don't know if Desmond has lime juice. I kind of rummage through the counter and look. Yes, yeah, we have some. Well, it's vodka with an W. I don't know, but that should go.
Vodka?
We have. It smells like ginger. We can assume it's beer. It could also be schnapps, ginger schnapps. You don't care if it's a bit more, potent. And lime. We don't have lime juice. We have citrus.
Ah, yes, the good old citrus flavor.
I don't know what's it called. No, lemon.
Hey,
lemon,
man,
sorry.
Desmond's cutting costs. He's got to get that artificial citrus in here.
No, it's like a bottle of citrus. Just citrus. Well,
Just a bottle that says citrus on it.
I suppose we can use an orange slice instead.
I like this theoretical drink you're making. Ginger schnapps, vodka, and orange slices.
Don't
This
look at me,
kill
Desmond.
someone.
Desmond does not have the exact ingredient.
Definitely not. So make me a wisdom check or willpower check, Gwathir, to see how well
God.
this definitely am not a Moscow Mule, turns out.
Wouldn't it be more intelligence?
Oh no, it's definitely wisdom.
That's.
It's alright, The person takes a sip, drinkable, and heads back down to their section of the bar.
Berkshire Mule.
Perhaps. Johnny, you're in the kitchen,
yeah.
buddy. And a couple of people have ordered some things. One of the clerics wanted a salad, no
Alright.
dressing, maybe a little bit of lime juice or lemon juice.
And you're really glad Wiglaf is not there for the no dressing salad.
Come on. I'm unaware of this glib glob, fella. Sounds like I need to teach him a thing or two. You got to learn how to cook if you're going to impress the ladies. Hey.
Oh, he's a lord. Don't worry.
And
He's a lord. Well, no, they shouldn't cook at all then. Why doesn't he have his servants cook for him?
because he is
a
his
great
own
question.
servant.
Also, how are we having this conversation? You're very far away right now.
Right,
I'm having
right.
a body experience.
And are you also cooking up some of these cattle, right? These minotaurs that you just
Yeah, so
chopped
here's
up.
my theory, right? If I cook the one that got hit by lightning, I don't have to cook it as much. You know what I mean, right? Like, it's already done.
Yeah, well, they butcher animals in this kitchen all the time. There's a little butcher's table over there with a little thing for the blood to flow down to and a big bucket that they, toss out into the backyard from time to time. And why don't you give me a cooking check?
Hell
for
yeah.
butchering the Minotaur and making all these salads and everything.
Yo, if I throw in some of my uncommon spices and figs I bought, can I get a bonus?
Yes. How many spices are there?
I bought a pound of uncommon spices and a pound of figs.
All right, cool. I didn't know if they were like, it was a 14 spice recipe that you had going on.
Secrets.
Oh my goodness, I wish I had like 14 herbs and spices. I'll call this the Colonel's chicken. Colonel's
No,
chicken sandwich.
All right, give me a cooking check there, buddy. Why don't you give me +2, 1 for the spices, 1 for the figs.
All right. Hi, that's a 23.
That's pretty good. Yeah, you butcher the cow, you get the salad going. You know, someone else comes up with an order of over easy eggs, eggs.
Huevos rancheros, my man. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's a bunch of things are going on in the kitchen. Do you feel comfortable handling orders as they come in, like lining up your dishes? Is Johnny a good cook?
Johnny's a proficient cook, hell yeah.
All right.
I feel like Johnny's more of a cook for you and me kind of guy, you know, a little bit extra love in there, get those 2 perfect dishes, but you know, he can handle himself in the kitchen.
It's definitely something different from borscht.
All right. And meanwhile, Doreen, you're chopping up hands, yeah?
Yeah, she's probably pretty proficient at this
Yeah.
by now. Like, it
Good.
probably doesn't take her too long.
So, all of this is happening when Mr. Muscles, the sheriff...
Hooves on yourself?
What?
Ooh. You chop up hands, right? Do you take the Minotaur's hooves? Do you now have like hooves in with your hands?
No, just the top hands, not the bottom
Just the
hands.
Not the bottom hands, right?
Oh, that's good.
Well, it would apply in the case of a monkey, so...
Okay. All right.
All right. So this is what's happening when Mr. Muscles, the sheriff, shows up with the kobolds who are, you know, accusing Vigloff of murder. Luckily, Vigloff is not here to be accused of murder, but Mr. Muscles, the sheriff, is still gonna swing on by. Let's see what approach he takes and who he sees first.
Hold on, Neal.
Yeah, so
If you actually look at the town map, the sheriff's office is from the right side of the map we're looking at currently.
yes.
So he'll be coming from that way.
Yes, he will be coming from this way, absolutely.
Right.
Guaranteed.
So he will probably see me first, since I am the only one visible.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of... I mean, the sheriff is approaching Shenanigans. Even though this is the direct route, he may opt to, like, kind of stake out the whole building first to see what's going on. He might try and walk around the back and take a look. You know, you got to be careful when approaching
might try to
crimes
punch
that
the
have
building.
happened here. Yeah. However, he rolls just a simple, I'm going to walk in through the front door check. So, Doreen, he doesn't see you behanding people in the alleyway, and he doesn't see Johnny cooking a Minotaur who was just outside having a conversation earlier. Instead, Mr. Muscles just walks in through the front door and comes over to Guathir and says, "Where's Desmond?"
At the beach. He doesn't want to be disturbed.
So you here are the ones responsible for the slaughtering of innocent kobolds?
I don't know what happened outside. It's outside of Shenanigans. I just knew that a kobold came flying through the window. I don't care.
He looks at the bar, it looks kind of clean, notices there's still like glass on the ground, and looks around.
shrug. I don't know what happened. Someone threw a kobold through the window. A lightning bolt probably hit them. It sounded like it. I don't know what happened out there. I had
Lightning
screams.
on a clear blue day? Nonsense. That never happens.
Try to punch a window out.
Mr. Muscle goes over to window and punches it out. And that is when the interdimensional space worm opens a portal before him, bites off his head, the portal closes, and Mr. Muscles falls to the ground dead in front of another broken window.
Guathir shrugs and just says, "Idiot."
The kobolds run screaming. The people in the tavern carefully put down their drinks, and half of them leave. The other half, you've probably seen something like this before.
Oh, probably 10 gold. He kind of looks up. 10 gold for the someone who goes to mayor and tell him we need a new sheriff. The current one punched a window in Shenanigans and died.
Someone will take you up on that, actually. The party of dwarves agree that they'll do that job.
I would.
That's a good job. And they head off to go find Colonel Sanders.
That's
I
like
just,
10 gold.
done 10
Just
gold.
be messenger.
Yeah.
Main sheriff then, by the sounds of it.
Oh god, he was a funny one, but
Aw,
he was also
poor
not
Mr.
really
Muscles.
intelligent. God, I didn't
Shit.
expect him to actually.
What if they
do
get
that.
someone smarter than Mr. Muscles,
Shit.
and our shenanigans are gonna come to a screeching halt because
Yeah.
we can't use our bullshit
Oh
arguments
yeah,
anymore?
So
Should've thought about
about now is when Doreen's finished up with the hands, and May, Vigloff, and Torque come back with the piece of plate glass. I think Vigloff is carrying it. Torque and May are keeping everyone away from like the glass.
I don't trust
and
that glass.
As
No,
you guys come back, you notice there's another broken window.
Is it the same size as this one?
No, none of the windows have a standard size. Each one is custom built.
it's Shenanigans.
standard size,
If we-
replaceable
if we
parts.
pet the side of the tavern very lightly and carefully, and say the tavern's actual name. Well, okay, Shenanigans, and the spirit that harbors it, which is Sierra. Will she regenerate the glass for us?
Actually, wait, Doreen was there for that.
Mm.
Can Doreen try orsoning the glass back to Shenanigans?
Of course not. It's not a living thing. It's
Of
glass.
course it is. It's a demon house. This has been established.
It's not a demon house. That's ridiculous.
It's a
But
demon
also the
ball.
even if it were a demon,
109.
but even if it were a demon house, the original windows are already gone. So
Yep. So here you are. The party is all back. I think Johnny steps out to deliver a little bit of food to someone. And the party is gathered here in Shenanigans. The sheriff is dead at your feet. There's just the band left in here, and they are like quickly tidying up and getting ready to bail.
can one of you get the corpse out of here? He punched a window.
Yeah,
Another one?
we can move like random things. We probably should just leave the sheriff as evidence.
Oh, all right. He punched a window. It's not my fault that he is so stupid or was so stupid.
May
What's
sets
happened?
about
Yeah,
preparing the
windows-
measurements for the
The
next
windows
window.
are breaking themselves.
No, Vigloff. If you listen to the elf, the dude punched it, and now he's dead.
A man without a head cannot punch a window.
Oh, he was killed afterwards by whatever protection Desmond has on this bar. Oh,
think
good.
it's
Go
more
ahead, try it. Punch a window.
Another window.
Vigloff, don't punch a window. Do not punch a window.
Ah,
I would not punch a window. A window is not a suitable opponent for mighty Vigloffs.
Yep, good job. Good job, Vigloff.
So you guys are cool. Doesn't matter.
I mean-
he did it. That is just considered suicide in this town.
yeah.
Like harming Shenanigans is suicide.
Wouldn't it be considered murder because Guathier
No, I
told him
told
to
him.
do something that he knew would end with the guy's death?
I told him.
It was a rhetorical, oh, if you don't believe it, then go try it. And then it's not his fault that someone was actually dumb enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people know about don't fucking mess with Shenanigans.
All right. Cool. You guys are totally not responsible for anything that's happened here at all.
Oh
None
no,
of these.
it's kind of like, hey, go jump off that building. That's,
And then someone did it, and Guathier's like, "Oh, whatever. I don't feel bad. I told him to go kill himself, and he did, so that's fine.
yeah, it's their own decision.
Sounds
I
like
told
an
you.
No
L.
judgment." No
It
judgment.
wasn't a quest to punch the window. It's not our fault.
Yeah.
Now we
Uh,
have to get another windows. Maybe we should get 2 windows just to be ahead.
We just go take the measurements for the next one in the line of windows.
Don't worry,
Protect the
I get
windows.
the window. I get the window.
Oh, I can be the barman.
Yes, yes.
So a few minutes later, you know, you've got both windows repaired now. I mean, maybe not a few minutes. Maybe it's like an hour or 2 later. Both windows are repaired. No one's in the tavern. It's just the 6 of you. And that's when the dwarves start coming back with the mayor. Now the question is, what have you done with the body of the sheriff?
We
left
haven't
it there.
touched it. We haven't moved it.
Nice.
We've left it as evidence.
Nice.
Actually, we probably wouldn't even have repaired the window. We just have it ready to be repaired.
All right. So the mayor comes by with the dwarves who have told him what happened, and he's looking over, and he's stroking his little white beard, and he's like, well, yep. That there is definitely a Mr. Muscles, and he ain't around anymore. So I think it is high time that we find a new sheriff for this town.
You call him Mr. Muscles? Those are puny muscles. If you need a sheriff, and muscles is what you need for this, then Viglas should be your sheriff.
Well, muscles are not what we need, and his name was not Mr. Huge Muscles. It was simply Mr. Muscles. There was no qualification on their size or potency, if you understand.
Well, he wasn't Mr. Smarts either. I mean, how many months was he here already and didn't know about that?
I don't know what you're talking about. Normally, wormholes do not open up and eat people. I have never seen something in all my years like that.
How do you know about the rule, do not mess with shenanigans?
I'm
Or
not
you
sure
don't.
what you're talking about, good sir.
Oh yeah, don't fuck with shenanigans. Apparently, like we watched a wormhole immediately after Mr. Muscles punched the window. Is when the wormhole opened up.
Oh yeah, and I think, what was it? A Minotaur threw a kobold through a window
Oh, yeah.
and lightning struck him?
Those sound like 2 unconnected freak accidents.
Well, you
And
know
I believe
what?
you
I
are
am-
drawing conclusions about things that are not set in stone.
Okay.
I'm sure if
We
you were
could-
to batter down another window, it would be fine.
You know what? You can believe that, sir, if you want. I am not going to test it. Call me paranoid if you will. I'm not testing it. I do not recommend you test it either.
Yes. Probably not. The town needs a
about-
mayor.
If you want to say that it's a coincidence, all right.
What other explanation could there possibly be for this? This
I don't know.
travesty?
Like Desmond put some plutonium in the windows or something. I don't know.
I do believe plutonium is not a real metal, my dear Noel. I think you are making things up. You have read far too many stories and fairy
Oh,
tales.
I can't read.
You have had far too many stories and fairy tales told to you, good sir, because that is not a real thing.
Very well.
Hey, man, I've been making some steak sandwiches in the back. You want one? I put some figs and some spices in it. I think it would soothe you real good.
Do you have any breaded chicken back there? I do much prefer to the steak sandwich.
We
Really?
probably have.
We've been having a special on steak sandwiches. I bet I could bread a chicken.
Well, I'll take whatever you have on hand. Some potatoes and biscuits with a little gravy would go a long way to making my day better.
All right. Anything I can do to help authority, you know what I mean? All right. Let's go make
I
some
assume we
biscuits.
can get rid of the body now. We have to wipe the floor.
I don't believe Mr. Muscles was a married man. Hard as that is to imagine. I will see to it that he has a state funeral in as short a time as possible. Did the dwarves tell the truth that the head of this sheriff is no more?
Yeah.
bit clean off.
Seems like rather than more, it is less.
Excuse me? Well, while I deal with this, you all seem like a responsible and trustworthy lot. Would the 6 of you find us some new sheriff candidates, please?
We are under a job from Desmond to protect the bar.
You can do that in the bar. You don't have to leave to find a good
We put
sheriff.
signs up and it tells everyone to come here, so we don't have to leave.
I'm sure you'll figure it out. I will go deal with this other problem now. And he goes to deal with the issue of the body. And this is how we're going to come up with a new sheriff for the town. Each of you is going to find a candidate. And when I say find, you guys are just going to like make a new character that could be the sheriff. And then we will go through the 6 characters and decide one of them to be the sheriff somehow.
Like,
So-
I know the stats and everything.
Oh yeah, I mean, just make up a potential sheriff candidate. So everyone, heads down, pencils up, and go make me a sheriff. I'm gonna put on some music.
I have the perfect test for the new to determine who will be the new sheriff.
Well, hold on, just make the sheriff. We'll worry about the testing later. All right.
All right.
I'm gonna give you guys the appropriate sheriff making music, and I'm only gonna give you a few minutes to do this. I know you could spend all day making a sheriff, but I'm gonna give you.
What is the
rolling method? 3d6 or
Whatever.
46?
No, just make me a sheriff character. There are
Alright.
no
not even
requirements.
rolling him?
What if you want to roll it? Roll it. If you want to pick it, pick it. Race, class, sex, age, stats, whatever you want. It's up to you.
Perfect.
Oh, my guy's gonna win for sure. Look at all those 11s.
Look at all this. Excellent.
Okay, so down the line, 11, 8.
I was gonna say, do I make May do it?
I'm gonna go get myself a drink while you guys work.
Let me get my dice. I'll start rolling.
Yes, if chat works together, you can make a separate character, but you all have to work together, and you only have as much time as the rest of the players, so get your shit
Can I make a
together.
purple dinosaur man?
You can make whatever you want, Greg.
Oh god. Neal, I don't have ideas.
Well, then you probably won't have your sheriff picked.
Well, that's fine.
But come on, I know you can do it, Nick.
You
You
know
made
what? I will-
Doreen. You can make a sheriff.
Yes, and do you know how long it takes me to like come up with these ideas?
Doreen
don't.
for sheriff.
No.
Viglaf is already in the bars.
I mean, I nominate Vigloff. But oh god.
Definitely a lefty. Weirdos.
Can we get Lord Glibglub to run for sheriff?
No, he's a lord. He can't do that.
Whatever you want, man. You can nominate an existing NPC if you really want to. You can make your own character. You have until the end of the song. It's a 10-minute track, and we started it, I have no idea how long ago. So yeah.
Oh, he's definitely proficient in singing and dancing.
Oh my god, you're not making Barney, are you?
No.
Books. Where is the book?
I'm just gonna bump his charisma up to like 18.
Yeah, I'm gonna alter the rules too to fit the personality here.
I'm gonna alter the rules that just say we use my character. Yeah, you're cool with that, Neal, right? Because I altered the rules, you have to be. I mean, that's the rules.
Can we find that other dragon that we didn't kill last time and make that the sheriff instead?
No,
No?
of course not.
Oh, no, Neal. That's not the right answer. Yes, we can find it. And yes, we can try to nominate it.
Oh my goodness, someone needs to make Dora.
Dora the
No.
Explorer?
We need Dora, we need Bob. Can we, Sheriff? Yes, we can.
Can we find the culprit? Yes, we can.
Berkshire, no swiping.
Actually, why don't we? So there was that town we went to where we dealt with the. Who went with me? It was.
Doreen. No, there was Joe and,
Joe
Torque.
Why didn't we get the head of their militia to become the sheriff here? They were actually reasonably intelligent. I nominate that person from that town. We might have to send someone to go get them. So it'll be after episode 109.
What level are we making them? Are they level 1 characters?
You know, you can set the level at whatever you want, but there will be preferential for someone in the like 4th or 5th range, like 3 to 6. You
Isn't that
know,
normally just like a level 3 sheriff for a town? City has like
towns
4.
usually have 5, villages have 3, cities have
Oh,
9
okay.
or 8 or whatever.
Okay.
Oh my god, look at that. Look at all those 12s.
Wow.
Or 12s. Excellent.
Yeah, it was the bone powder episode, so what was that? Yeah, so we should go and recruit Jackie, who was the self-appointed defender of the village, and get them to be Berkshire's sheriff. I think that's a good idea.
No. That's your nomination.
Yeah, they obviously won't be present for the examination, but we can send a message.
Excellent.
How many non-weapons I get? I get 3 plus language. I get 2 languages. Suck it. I get 5.
Can't believe I can't find skills and powers at this critical moment.
Hey, I did what I needed.
So I have to find someone Who can write? Can our esteemed elfish friend Grafir write?
Yeah, of course he can.
Then May will ask him to write a letter entitled to be sent to said village for said self-appointed defender for a position that as the sheriff for Berkshire opportunity.
Are we competing, Neal?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Yeah, in the game, are we actually competing?
I mean, there's only one sheriff, so I don't know if how you want to define competition.
He agrees. Letter gets sent, and your candidate never arrives.
Depends how long before we have the.
He actually wrote the opposite in there. He already found his candidate, and he thinks they are perfect. Now he writes the letter. He's not that petty, and sends it.
May will thank Grafir, even though he wouldn't even be able to check or confirm the contents of said message.
What is etiquette exactly?
I think I'm just gonna propose a narcoleptic character.
All right.
Not
Well,
one that
that's it.
constantly falls asleep.
That's it, everybody. We're gonna stop. Pencils down. Bastian, what is the name of your sheriff candidate?
Goal.
Goal?
Yeah, like Goal.
I've got it.
Goal.
Matt, what is the name of your sheriff candidate?
I was wanting to nominate the character from episode 110, the self-appointed defender known as Jackie of that village we visited.
Who? What?
Expect to remember.
Have you picked an NPC from another town?
I suggested we send a letter, but I presume they wouldn't be.
No, failed. You don't get a character. Nick, who is your sheriff candidate?
Haven't come up with a name. We'll do that later. I just have the concept. Narcoleptic sheriff, but not the kind that constantly falls asleep, just that they never get good sleep.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Figure out the name. I'm going to keep going, but get me a name. Greg, who is your sheriff candidate?
Sheriff Barney.
All right. And John Connar, who's your sheriff candidate?
His name's McBoof.
McBoof.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Take a bite out of crime.
And Roberto, who is your sheriff candidate?
My candidate is the only one that makes any sense. It's the only logical conclusion that you can have when you take everything into account. It is, as one would guess, Benebatch Cumberdict. A low-functioning sociopath.
Benebatch Cumberdick.
No.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Okay, Nick, do you have a name yet?
You know, after Googling male names, let's just go with Elijah.
Elijah. Okay.
Fizzy. Not effective.
And I know chat had a sheriff candidate they wanted to give up. Have you decided on who your chat voted for? Biff the Beholder with only two eyes. Okay.
Oh God, look at his stats.
Obviously, that one is a complete joke. As we all know, there are no eyes in Beholder. There are several E's.
All right.
There are only two E's.
Quigglefish, I need you to give me a brief description. Anything that he's a druid with two sun monocles who wants to hug everyone, and those are his stats. Wow.
Oh God,
So I hope everyone in game can read the description provided by Quigglefish here. Let's start with Bastian. Tell us about Goal.
So Goal is, at first glance, it looks like a male elf that walks in, but really with like a bit of a very graceful walking style, like more like a woman with short, spiky brown hair. And from the look in their eyes, and after a few minutes, like, is that a girl? Wait, no, is that a girl? And when she starts talking, oh shit, it's a girl. And from her, like, she's super charming and has that, that kind of seductive look in her eyes, regardless of whom she looks at, which kind of makes even Glib Glob uncomfortable. And she tells everybody she doesn't rely on her swords. Not really. I mean, if need be, she can skewer somebody with it. But she relies on her beautiful eyes and her charm. And she's a people person. She wants to get to know everybody, and with that, know everybody. Mm-hmm. Wink, wink. And she's just the best at love people. And she's also a wonderful artistic person. I mean, if the musicians left her like an instrument behind, she takes up wonderful. She can sing, she can dance, she can play instruments. It's that person you always, after you finish school and see your old schoolmates after a few years, and like, wow, one of them is like, I learned how to play a dozen instruments. And like, it's been 3 years. Wow, I have achieved nothing with my life. And she's that person, like, she learned all the instruments, learned all the songs, and is really nice to all the people. She doesn't like fighting, really, but who wants to fight? And yes, people who break the law have to be punished.
All right, so we have Goal, the sheriff who will seduce you instead of fight you, and can sing and dance and is charming and is nonviolent.
Also, one thing that she says, if somebody asks, your name is Goal. Yes, because I'm everybody's goal.
Goal!
All right. Next up, let's learn a little bit about Barney. Who is Barney?
Barney is a large purple dinosaur with green splotches on him, but he has a little bit of a humanoid appearance, but mostly dinosaur. It's mostly the eyes that look human. Barney is an entertainer. He loves to entertain, especially children, wholesome, good family entertainment. And he just doesn't abide by anyone that isn't, a part of that wholesome entertainment. But he is a reform candidate. He believes in reforming the ne'er-do-wells through his, songs and dance and life lessons and funny voice. But if worse comes to worse, he does assure you that, the dinosaur does have a little bit of a bite to it. And so if someone is beyond his touch, Berkshire can rest assured the worst criminals won't be running around under his watch.
Wonderful. McBoof.
Boof.
Tell me about McBoof. And how do you spell McBoof, actually?
I don't know.
Okay.
Figure out a way to spell it. I don't care. Honestly, you're like, you need a name. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah. All right. Tell us about him.
All right. He's a null. He actually graduated from Good Boy School with Torque, so Torque knows him. But he went on to the advanced courses. Torque didn't.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Advanced Good Boy Torque, Good Boy courses. But he's pretty inquisitive guy. He sees a lot that goes on around him. His face is kind of droopy looking, like sags a little bit. He does sound pretty serious all the time. He's not nearly as easygoing and lighthearted as Torque. But he has this. He never notices, but he always uses smell puns.
Smell?
Like, got a whiff of something going down. Like, he's always referencing smell for some reason.
Okay.
And it's just like one of those personality flaws where you don't realize it, and even if someone points it out to you, it's just like, and
Okay.
it's just like in through one ear, out through the other.
Okay. I forgot to ask this. Did Goal have any stats? Did you figure out like stats in class for her?
Yeah, and she is a 5th level fighter. She has 12 strength, 12 dex, 10 con, 12 int, 14 will, 18 charisma, and 18 perception. Because of course she has to be the most charming, and she has always the spot.
Perfect. And does Barney have a level, class, and stats?
Yes, Barney is a level 4 fighter, and his stats are 11 strength, 8 dex, 7 con, 11 int, 11 wisdom, 18 charisma, and 8 perception.
Okay. And McBoof, stats, level, class.
I mean, he graduated Good Boy School same time as Torque, so he's a level 4 fighter. It's got 12 strength, 12 dex, 12 con, 12 wisdom, 11 int, 10 charisma, and 17 perception.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And next up is Benabach Cumberdick.
Cumberdick. There's a T on the end.
Cumberdict. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Can never get enough T. Benabach Cumberdict. So his stats are strength 10, dex 16, con 10, intelligence 18, wisdom 5, charisma 13, and of course perception 19, because he is Benabach Cumberdict and he notices everything.
Wonderful. And tell us a little bit about Benabach Cumberdict.
Well, perhaps he should just show you. Looking around the room, we can see that both these windows have been broken with the shards of glass on the inside.
Actually, hold on. I'm going to give you a chance to do that later. We're going to just get a brief description of every character and then like vote on a few of them and then get like detailed on each of them. So I don't want to give you an unfair advantage by giving a personality yet. So just a broad strokes.
He's a rogue level 6. His virtues are obscure memory. His flaws are, well, he notices everything. He overthinks things and comes up with overly elaborate ideas about what happened when it was actually much more simple and even like right in front of his face. His sidekick is a halfling with a dwarf fetish. And his non-weapon proficiencies include ancient history, pretty much every kind of knowledge you can think of, as well as obviously reading and writing.
Obviously.
Halfling with a dwarf fetish, really?
Yes.
I mean, I know where this is coming from, and I see it. I see what you've done here. If you guys haven't watched Sherlock, it'll make sense. It'll make sense if you watch Sherlock. And then watch The Hobbit. Yeah.
So good.
Fetish. Okay, halfling with the dwarf fetish. What was that last bit?
His non-weapon proficiencies include like every knowledge, except that he thinks he doesn't know the difference between a planet and a star.
Right. And Elijah. Also, can someone tell me how the hell you spell Elijah?
Oh, God.
Elijah.
I would.
J-A-H, thank you. Elijah, tell me about you.
Okay, so Elijah's stats are in the chat there in order. 14, 9, 8, 9, 13, 11, 13.
Thank you. And tell us a little bit about Elijah.
Yeah, basically has narcolepsy. Probably level 4 or 5 fighter. Let's go with 4. But not the type that makes you randomly fall asleep. It just makes it so that you never get good sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It's, just horrible. They can never actually get good sleep. And his motto is basically, crime never sleeps. And he won't rest until criminals are brought to justice.
Crime never sleeps, and I won't rest until criminals are brought to justice.
Yeah.
Well, never.
So criminals will never just... No, there's never any justice, because he's never sleeping.
I mean, there's too many criminals, probably. It's
Yeah. Too
Berkshire.
many criminals can never sleep.
No, you see, he's always trying to sleep, which is why there's crime.
Yes, he sleeps but can't rest.
Okay, and last but not least, we have Biff the Beholder. And let me just take a quick look at these stats if they're still in chat.
Yes,
There
so
they
awful.
are. Oh God. 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Did we just skip 8? 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wonderful. A druid. Oh, what level was Elijah? Oh, you said 4th level, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Druid is what level is Biff?
Fifth
level?
so, yeah.
5th level. 2 eye stalks with 2 sun monocles.
I just imagine he is has an inconspicuous head and a coat to kind of disguise him.
And he's a hugger.
Oh,
is
how does he
a-
hug people? With his eye stalks?
I have no idea.
I mean, let's be real here. This is 100% a chat creation.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
1,
you're
2,
right.
3, 4, 5. We have 6 candidates for election. So we're going to take a break. I'm going to set up a voting system. And when we come back from our break, we're going to vote on a new sheriff for town.
Oh, Neal, don't forget, the Beholder has an anti-truth zone. So nobody can tell. Everything gets reversed.
He has Charm, Monster, and Telekinesis for eye spells, is what they say.
And an anti-truth zone instead of an anti-magic zone. That is...
Well, isn't that 3 abilities then, and only 2 eye stalks? How do you?
No.
But they have the
main
central
one.
eye.
The
Yeah,
central eye of the Beholder traditionally has an anti-magic cone.
Ah, I see. So he
The
has
eye
3
stalks
eyes
have other
then.
things.
Okay, so he's got the central eye and 2 eye stalks.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Anti-truth zone, so he always assumes that people like him.
Okay. So we're gonna go to break, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes after I set up a voting system. See you guys soon.